Okay, first of all, right, I will just try to use a marquee or whichever selection tool you're comfortable, right, to highlight each and every item first, and then I will extract one by one. Okay, yesterday I taught you can use copy paste, right? Okay, there's actually a very traditional method to do it. It's also quite wasting your memory because you copy, then you paste. It's two steps. Okay, so in this case, right, now I'm going to introduce you another method. Okay, first of all, let's look at the eyes first. Okay, so I'll zoom into this part. Now, it's just a circle, right? So in this case, do you think it's ideal to use lasso or measure one? Don't need, right? You can just use the elliptical marquee, right? So, okay, I noticed that you all draw, right? Remember I told you can actually hold down spacebar and move it, right? So you can move your selections, okay? But the thing is, sometimes if you want to create a perfect circle, right, it's best that you can hold down the shift key. You might want to try this also. Hold down shift key and then you click and drag. It will give you a perfect circle. Same goes to square, okay? See, now I give it as, I just highlight this portion, okay? It's okay to leave out a bit of pixel because I don't want to see the white gap at all. So that's why I create my circle, you see, it's inside the eyeball itself. Okay. Okay, this is, now I already mark up the elliptical marquee, right? Okay. Now what you normally do is actually you go to edit, copy and paste, right? Now you can also do this, it's actually one step, but it consists of copy and paste already, which is quite good. It's under layer. Do you see this new? Okay, layer new, layer via copy. This is very good features because it saves your memory, save your time, and save your step also. So the shortcut is actually Control J. Yeah? Okay, you see when I click this, right, via copy, immediately it gives you another layer 1. So make it as a good habit. Double click and name this as eyeball. Okay. It's good to be organized in Photoshop. Otherwise, later on you will be very confusing, especially when you're dealing with like 100 over layers. Okay. Okay. Now I've done with this, right? Okay. Okay. I'm going to go to the second one. Okay. Same thing also. Over here we can just use the elliptical marquee for the carrot, right? Okay. Now, sometimes, right, when you use this marquee, right, you realize that you do not get to draw the marquee because it's the previous setting, right, of the previous user, they might have used this. Do you see this? Right now, your style is actually normal, right? But for example, if in the exam they ask you, okay, can you give me 3 cm by 3 cm rectangular? Then you need to go to fixed size and type in the value here. Okay, so just double check whenever you click on marquee, whether it's elliptical or rectangular, right? Make sure it's always normal when you want to draw your own selections. Okay, this step, right, a lot of students they miss out. Then they'll ask me, how come I cannot draw a circle or a square? It's because your star, right, has been changed to fixed size. Okay, that's why I say it's very important. Whenever you go to each tool, right, before you do anything, please double check the setting here first. Okay? Okay, so same thing. Right now, can we press Ctrl J now? Can we press Ctrl J now? We can't, right? Because you look at my layer, which is the active layer? Eyeball. Now, if I turn off the eyes of background, right, is there anything in the eyeball layer here? Nothing, right? So I must always go back to the background layer, okay, because I'm copying this pixel from the background layer. Okay, that's one thing that you must take note. Whenever you are dealing with layer, right, make sure you always be very specific, which is the active layer, you must take note. Okay, so in this case, now I can press Ctrl J, right? Now I have another layer 1. I'll name this as carrot. Okay. Okay. Let's look at the kiwi. We settle all the circle shape first. Now, same thing also, before I actually draw the selection, right, I make it as a habit, always go down to the background layer first. Okay, then same thing also over here, I'll hold down shift, I'll drag a circle, okay, cover the kiwi, okay, but sometimes you see because the shape is not perfect circle, right? So now I can let go of the shift and I adjust accordingly, okay, then I let go, okay. Now, if you want to shift a bit of the selection, right, you can use the arrow key button, left, right, down, up, okay? Or you can put your cursor within the selection, click and hold and drag it, okay? Now, you can even transform the selection as well, okay? You can right click, the easiest one would be, you can right click. Do you see this transform selections? Okay, right click, transform selections. Now you can go and distort your shape, okay? But if you do not want, for example, now I already messed up my selection, right? I can just press escape to cancel whatever transformation I have done, okay? Okay, now I'm going to press Ctrl J. Okay, this one I just name it as kiwi. Okay, so we are done with all the circle one, right? Okay, now go back to background layer. Okay, now we are going to deal with those items that has got background behind. Okay, now in this case, right, I'm going to, okay, this one is quite simple because, right, you can actually use the same thing also, elliptical marquee, right, to mark up this area. Just to double check, always ensure that your feather is 0 because I do not want any soft edges, okay, unless you want soft edges lah. Okay, so in this case now, I just highlight this one, right? What is the key I can press? Control. I want to copy out this thing, right? I want to extract this out, right? Control J, or you can go to layer, new layer via copy. Okay, this is the long way lah. Okay, Control J. Now, but the thing is, okay, let's hide the background layer. You see, there's a white area, right? Okay, in this case, what would be the suitable tool to use? Yes, correct, Magic Wand. Because over here, right, there's one plain background only. So it's very fast. You can just click on the white area and just remove them. It's much faster. Okay. Now, remember I told you what must we do once we are done with the selections? Always, once you have got this selection, right, you are done with it already. You must always deselect this before you move to next step. Okay, this is very important. Now, this one I just name it as eyebrow. Okay. Okay, next one. Okay, background. Go back to background. Now I'm going to go to, okay, maybe, okay, this one we can try also. Okay, this one I think we can use this. Okay. Okay, I'm using elliptical. You can use marquee also, I mean the rectangular marquee. Okay, Control J to copy. Okay, so same thing also. Now, this one, right, you can either use lasso or magnetic also can. Or if you want, you can also use Magic Wand also can. Because actually the background, you can do something about it. You see right now, when I pick on the light area, right, you will highlight the same pixel. Now I can just hold down the shift to add in my selection. Do you see that? Okay, it's much faster. Okay, thanks to the photo, because it's quite the contrast is quite good here, so it's able to pick up. Now I can just press the delete button to remove the background. Okay, okay, can I repeat? Okay, this one, right, now I zoom to this nose, right, you can actually use rectangular or elliptical, it's fine. Okay, in this case I just use elliptical. Okay, okay, now Control J, right, because I want to extract out, right. Okay, then I turn off the background layer. Okay, now you can either use polygonal or magnetic, up to you, but in this case I find that actually I can use Magic Wand to settle this very quick because, right, the background is quite similar. Now, first of all, I click on the white area. So you see all the same similar pixel will be selected, right? Next one, I want to add to this background, right? I can just hold down the shift, remember? Shift is to add selection, right? Okay. And then I pick on the dark area. Okay, I pick on the dark area. Click. Okay, there's a hole here, so I click on it also. Okay. Now you can remove them. Okay.
Remove, how you do it?
Just press the delete button. Okay. Then same thing, we must name this as, okay, give it a name. Okay, next one. But for this, right, the bow tie, right, you can't really use any method. This part, if you want to have the perfect one, right, the best one is you actually use lasso tool, polygonal lasso tool. Okay. Now let's look at this, the mushroom first. Okay, background. Okay, this one I'll use rectangular marquee. Okay. I just highlight this portion, right? Okay. Now I just Control J again. Okay, then to hide the background. Now this one, okay, which tool you think we can use? Let's try quick selections. Okay. But if you see properly, there's a gap here. Okay, so let's try Magic Wand. Okay, hold down Shift, 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 Shift. Okay, this part I do not want, right? Okay, so in this case, you see, I will need to use polygonal lasso tool to remove the selections. Remember I told you to remove the selection, right? Okay. Okay. Okay, now I can just press the delete button to remove the background. Okay. Okay, now we have few items already. Name this as, okay, I just call it as header. Okay, background. Again, okay, now we left 2 items, right? Actually 3 items. Okay, this and this, right? Okay, let's look at the year first. Okay, same thing, I'm using rectangular marquee to mark up this. Okay, Control J. Then, but if you notice the end result, right? They actually don't have this part, am I right? Okay, so in this case, okay, let's just remove the white area first, remove them. Okay. Now I'm going to use lasso tool, okay, polygonal lasso tool. Okay, I'm going to draw this out. Okay, I want to be lazy, I can just double click. Okay. Then remember I can just, because this is the area that I want, so I should remove the outside, right? So what can I do? I can inverse the selection. Okay, then I remove. Okay. Okay, so this is the year. Okay. Next one, okay, this is the face, right? Okay, so same thing also. I can just use this to Control J, and then I can use Magic Wand to remove. Okay, this one, give it a name first. Okay, now this one, right? You don't really have a choice. You need to do in the quick selection. I think it will mark up the shadow also because it's quite similar, the color. Okay, you see, do you see that? So in this case, I don't want to waste my time. I'll just use the tedious method. Okay, but this is just a small item, so it's still okay.
suddenly when I select the area and Control J, it doesn't come out.
You didn't select your background area, your layer?
I did.
You did? Hold on.
Like the layer will come out, but there's nothing on the layer.
Your selection, is it at the correct position? Wait, okay. So same thing also, I just Control J, right? Okay. Now you see I don't have to erase because I'm already selecting the cut. Okay. Okay. So now we have already separated all the items, right? Okay. We need to put in all one by one, right? This is the bow tie. Okay, just name it first. Now, you will need to know where is the layer that you should put. I mean the order of the sequence of the layer. Okay, in this case, I'll introduce a few techniques to you again. Okay, now first of all, the face will be the last item, right? I mean the most bottom layer, right? Okay, but because if you look at the end result, right, the head is actually the behind the face. Am I right? If you look at your item, okay, so this head, right? Now, right now you have so many layers, right? You feel it's very tedious every time you need to click here, right? Okay, so there are a few ways to quickly, you can select the item quickly. Now, for example, first of all, if you want to select this, right, you can actually just right click. Do you see this is the, it will try to detect the closest layer to you. Then you will appear here, the layer name. Okay, so for example, now if I want to select this, right, you can just click here. You see, it will jump to head. Okay, this is one method. Another method would be, for example, now if I want to select the bow tie, right, I can just hold down the control button, the hold down key, control key, right? Hold down control and use your mouse to click once. Do you see it will jump to this? Okay, this is the quickest way so far. You see, when I click here, it will jump to face. When I click here, it will jump to this. Okay, but if you have many layers overlapping each other, right, right click will be much better because you get to select which is the layer you want to select. Okay. Another thing would be, for example, now if you have this, do you see, okay, right now I'm at the move tool, right? Do you see this auto select? You can also check this. It will just go to whichever layer you are selecting it. Based on your preferences actually, for me, I don't like this. I'll prefer to press down the control and then I select manually, okay? But some people, they prefer to use a auto select, okay? But when I try to use a grouping, I want to select 1 to 2 items, right? Auto select gives me some trouble. That's why I don't really like it. Okay. Or you can also use show transform control. This is actually allows you to do the transformation. Okay. Now this one, right, the head, right, it should be under the face. Am I right? Okay. So in this case, right, you can just click and hold your layer, right? Drag down. Do you see this? And put it under the face layer. Okay. You still can move it after that. Okay. Now, I'm going to put in the ear because the ear is also behind the face. Am I right? So in this case, I'll just select my layer. Okay. Then I just bring down here. Okay. Now you see when I bring here, right? Just now what I told you is actually you can just drag down, right? Another method is you can actually use the okay, layer arrange. Do you see this? Send to back. Okay, the shortcut key is actually Control Shift left square bracket. Okay, this is to send to back. But if you want to send one layer back only, it's actually without a shift. It's Control left square bracket. Okay, you can see right now I'm using shortcut key here. You see, right now I just bring down. Do you see that? Okay, I can bring down like this. Okay. Now I'm going to rotate this, right? So, okay, you can check this and immediately you can rotate. Okay, or if you don't have this, right? Okay, if you don't have this, right, you can actually go to Edit, Free Transform. Okay, Free Transform. Then you can actually put here and rotate your item here, okay? Or you can actually Control T and right click. Do you see this? Rotate, okay? 90 degrees, count, okay? Then now whenever you enter the free transformation tool, right? Same like your crop tool. Remember your crop tool? Remember I told you that once you are done with your cropping, right? You must always press enter to confirm it. Same goes for free transform. So in this case, okay, I think you should have the tick or the cancel button. Do you have it in your option bar? Mine is due to the workspace, I can't really see that. Okay, now I can just press enter to confirm. Then I can just shift in a bit. Okay, use the arrow key also can. Now I'm going to copy another one, right? Okay, I'm going to make a copy of this. Okay, of course you can use Ctrl J to duplicate, right? But I'm going to introduce you another shortcut, which is actually you can just hold down the alternate key. Hold down alternate. Do you see there's a double arrow? Okay. Then just drag another here. Okay, this is like cloning already. Okay, I repeat. Okay, make sure you select the correct layer. Hold down alternate, and then click and drag. Okay. Now you see that it doesn't align, right? So in this case, okay, I undo first. When you copy, right? Okay, you want it to align properly. You can just add in one button, which is the shift button. Do you see that right now is, although I move up and down, do you see that? It will stay at the same straight line. Okay?
How do you make the purple lines appear?
No, it's automatically appear.
What?
It's actually under here. View, show. Do you see this smart guide?
Oh, mine is not checked.
Yes. Okay. No problem. Okay, now this one we have to flip, right? So I'll just Control T and right click. Do you see this? Flip horizontal. Click once. Okay. Then press enter. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to do the eye. Okay, the eyebrow. Okay, same thing also. I'm going to bring here. Okay. Okay. So now you can expect the same thing, right? I'm going to duplicate and flip, right? So I can just hold down alternate. Okay. And then I can just Control T, right click, flip horizontal. Okay. Then next, which is actually the eyeball and the carrot, right? You can just click on the eyeball first. Then I can bring into this part. Okay. Okay, now I can actually link these two layers together. Okay. Okay, when you want to select two layers at one time, right? You can actually hold down the shift. Okay, provided it's in sequence. When you use shift, it's in sequence. Right now I want these two, right? You see that? Two layers will be highlighted. Okay, but if, for example, if I want to select this in my eyebrow, I need to skip all this, right? So you need to hold down Control, okay, to have the selective selections. Okay, but in this case it's okay, so I can just select these two. Okay, then I can just drag them along. Do you see that? Okay. But this is a bit troublesome because every time I need to select these two layers. Okay, so what you can do, you can actually just group them into one group. Okay, this is how you group two layers. For example, now you select these two, right? You can just click and drag. Do you see this folder icon here? Okay, just drag into this folder icon. Then you will have a group here. Now with this group, right, you can just click here and it will move as a group. Okay. Now if you want to ungroup, right? Okay, you can just, okay, it's quite manual, just drag out from the group. Okay. You can't delete the group, because once you delete the group, everything will be deleted. They will ask you, do you want to delete the group only or the contents? If you want to delete the group, then you will give you back your two layers. Okay. Now another method which is you can link these two layers. Okay, you select these two layers first. Do you see this icon here? Okay, try to click once. Now these two layers are linked. So regardless whichever layer you are selected, right? For example, now I only select eyeball. It will follow also for carrot. Carrot will follow also. Okay, so there are a few methods to group your layer depending on your preferences and how you use it. Okay. Okay, now I have these two linked together, right? I can just copy another one. Do you realize that once I link them, right, the carrot also will be duplicate as well. Okay. Okay. Okay, now it's the nose, right? Now, right now my layer order this is like somewhere in the middle, right? I should bring to the top layer, am I right? Okay, so in this case, you can just click here and drag all the way up, or you can use a shortcut, which is the layer, arrange, bring to front. Okay, bring to front. Then I can just drag here. Okay, so you see before you place your item, right, it's best that you must be aware of where is the layer sequence, what is the sequence like. Okay, otherwise when you bring here, like just now, if I can do you see when I click here, hey, where is my thing? Oh, right now it's still there. But you see, you can't really see that because of your layer sequence. So it's good that you name your layer, at least you know what is going on there. Okay, then lastly, this will be the mouth, right? Okay, just put here. Okay, then this will be the bow tie. Okay, now if you want to align, for example, now if I want to align properly, right? Okay, I'm trying to be careful. I want everything to be perfect. Now I want to align my nose, my mouth, and my bow tie together. Okay, I can actually, okay, I click on the nose first, right? Now, still remember, how can I selectively select another item? Just now when I say you can use Shift to select more than one layer, right? Now is the time you should use Control instead of Shift. So I can just hold down Control, okay, the nose and the kiwi and the bow tie also. Okay. Now, this item, right? Okay, right now I'm under the Move tool. Now, all these options, right, will only available when you have more than one layer selected. You see, when I select nose, right, it's all grayed out. You can't really select anything. Okay, so now I select, these three layers. Okay, now this is actually for you to align vertical centers. Okay, this one, right, you need to try on your own, then you will see that effect. Now, you see, when I click on this one, actually, it's quite self-explained. Do you see that the icon is like that? That means you have few items, right? It will be centralized. So in this case, this is the one that we want. Okay, we click on this one, align horizontal center. Click once. You see? That means the mouth and the bow tie is already aligned center. Okay? If you want, you can also align the face and then align with the head also. Okay? So you don't have to manually go and position it nicely. Photoshop will do for you. Okay. Now, because the end result, we only want this, right? We do not want the separate item, right? Okay. In this case, I have all the transparent area. Am I right? Okay. You can either use crop tool. Remember this? Yesterday we do it, right? But you see, because we already set for me last time I set a fixed size already. So I do not want this. I can just click on the clear. Okay. Now I can go and do my cropping manually. Okay. Or you can actually use another function which is called edit. Image. Okay, do you see this trim? Okay, when you click on trim, right? You see, it will base on any transparent pixels. Right now, all these are transparent pixels, am I right? Okay, so later on the end result will be only the face. Okay, so when I click here, you see trim away, top, bottom, left, right. Click OK. See, it's much faster. Okay, then I can just save this as file, save as. Now you see because we have more than one layers already, automatically the format they provide to you will be Photoshop. Yes. Okay, this one I just put complete. Then just click save. Okay.